This is part of my book collection. I'm just going to be showing all of you a few of my books. I currently have probably around 400 books. I know I have a lot, and that's not including some of my comics and other art books and things that I have. I mostly collect fantasy and science fiction books. Right now, this is the current book that I am reading. As you can see, it is J.R.R. Tolkien, The Two Towers, and I actually have not read this series before, so I'm reading it through for the first time. And this is just one of my older copies. I actually have 2 different copies of this book. And I don't know, I just started reading this copy just because. Alright. I'll show you one of the next books in my collection. This book is one of my favorites, and I've been collecting a few of his books. This is Brandon Sanderson's Warbreaker. It's a very good book. It's still probably one of my top favorite fantasy stories that I have ever read, and I really want to read more of his books, which I actually have not gotten around to reading. I'm still collecting his other series, the Mistborn trilogy, which I only currently have the first book for. This book is very good. I haven't read it in many of years, but it basically deals with gods who inhabit this city, and one god in particular, he kind of questions himself if he even is a god. And it has lots of twists and turns in it, and it has a sentient sword and one of my favorite characters in here too, which I forget his name. It's probably in here somewhere, but I would definitely say give this book a try. The next book I'm going to show you is part of a trilogy. Oh, that one's actually backwards. Oop. This is the first book in the series. This is called Archangel. It is by the author Sharon Shin. I've read this whole book series before. It's a trilogy, plus I believe there are 2 more standalone titles in the series. It basically, Sharon Shin, she always has a little bit of romance in her books, but that's okay to me, because the story in it is actually very good. She really creates worlds that are really believable, and I read these books in a couple of days, if I remember. There's Archangel, and then I believe Jehovah's Angel is in the next part of it. And then the Alleluia files. This is a series I'm about to show you by David Brin, and this is the Uplift trilogy, and I actually have not read this yet, and it is on my to read like trilogies next. It's a science fiction book, and it's very interesting. I really like. I actually haven't really read anything by David Brin, though I have quite a bit of his books, and I really just want to start with this trilogy because I've heard it's really good, and I hear that he is really in detail about his science fiction. This is the first book, called Sundiver. The next book in the trilogy is called Startide Rising. And let's see, I really like these covers on these books too. They're very cool. There's just a couple people with these weird dolphin creatures. And on the back there's seems to be like a crashed spaceship. And this is the third book in the series. This one is called The Uplift War. And this one's also has a pretty interesting cover with some alien girl on the cover surrounded by a bunch of apes, it seems like. And you can see on the back there's a spaceship flying about. So this series is definitely on my to-read list. This book right here, it's a collection from H.P. Lovecraft, which I haven't gotten to reading either. And I have this mainly because I want to read the short story, the Call of Cthulhu, because I really want to read what that's about. And this is a really nice book. I got this one for Christmas from my beloved girlfriend, who also does ASMR videos. If you want to look her up, she mainly does eating videos, and her channel is called Alaskan Treasures. Okay. Now, this book is called Apex Predator, and is a book that I won from the website Goodreads. And I've read part of it, but I haven't picked it back up in a while, and I'm meaning to read the rest of this after I get done reading the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's basically about a monster in the Arctic that is basically killing people who enter its territory because, if I remember correctly, the government crashed a satellite into the Arctic, and the U.S. was trying to get a hold of it, and I believe it was Chinese technology, and it's some sort of technology that can wipe out the United States, but retrieving it comes at great costs. And the last book I'm going to show you is called V Wars, The Crimson Queen, which is actually a comic book, and this one I also won off from the website Goodreads, and I'm currently reading this one. I'm almost finished with it. The art style in it is pretty interesting. I like it so far. It's got a lot of action in it. And I'm hoping to finish that pretty soon. Alright, I probably should wrap this up. Thank you all for watching my videos. I hope you enjoy it. And I'll be back with more books in my collection for all of you to enjoy. Thank you.